Brothers and sisters, I have had a conversation today with a friend who brought me to some old realizations, but a clearer understanding of what we go through as narcissistic abuse victims, survivors, thrivers. That I'm hoping of some people that don't understand what we went through. We'll take a look at this. People from my old indie sphere, most especially, because I was a fairly successful person in what I was doing before. For those of you that don't know, I had a YouTube channel called Author Stephen Walton, where I talked about entertainments, and oddly enough, it was entertainments and politics, the cluster B personalities that run our governments and our entertainments that try and gaslight fans and go after them, that have these networks of flying monkeys called social justice warriors, Antifas, and those types. And I didn't understand for the longest time my own situation, of course, as we all do who go through this, because when you don't understand what NPD is, Narcissistic Personality Disorder, you don't understand what narcissistic abuse is, first off, you're susceptible to it, especially if you have weak boundaries or have unresolved childhood traumas, if you have like codependency or abandonment issues, like I did, which I had to go to therapy for in order to strengthen myself and understand what was going on, because I didn't know what was going on with me. And what happens when you're going through narcissistic abuse is your personality changes. You know, your fight or flight mechanism is triggered. You're dealing with someone who's promising you the moon and the stars, who's acting like they love you, like they're your friend, like they're someone who cares about you, while subtly planting triggers and traumas, while doing things to test your boundaries and slowly break you down. And they do this through a very reliable cycle that Scott Clark, who was on my last live stream, said very poignantly. It's got to be some type of satanic personality disorder, because it's like there's not a college that these people go to. There's no university for narcissistic abuse cycle. It is just very common in how they love bomb you, infiltrate you, how they get you to think they're your friend, they're your loved one, you can depend on them, and then they begin to break you down, they begin to devalue, they get you to question your own character, they create games, they ally with people that they've known, or they gather people around you that also have these toxic habits, and then use that to destroy your character before ghosting you or blaming you for anything that you may have done wrong, anything that they may have done wrong, to make you question yourself and your sanity, and if you're the toxic person, before ghosting you entirely and leaving you abandoned, and then smearing your name, and then coming back and love bombing you again, and coming back, and they do this over and over and over again. And the more they do it, and the more that a person with weak boundaries, which I had weak boundaries, I believed too much, I forgave too much, I didn't look at actions, not words. You know, I paid attention to what someone was telling me because I was a forthright, honest person. And so I believed what people were telling me. But that's not the real world. There are liars out there, not just narcissists, but there's liars out there who will manipulate you and lie straight to your face, smile at you with a knife in their teeth. They don't give a shit. But what happens is, while you are going through this concentrated, continual cycle of abuse that goes on over and over, which is just a game to a narcissist, it's all about control to them. And while you're going through that, you're slowly being eroded, and your behavior changes. Everything about you changes. People on the outside who have never dealt with narcissism or don't know what it is, because I certainly didn't know what the hell it was. I didn't understand what narcissism was. Now, people on the outside who've known you for so long, and then they see your behaviors change, and they see you're breaking down and you're acting in ways you've never acted, because those of us who are being targeted for this type of habitual, concentrated, merciless, demon-like abuse, the manipulation, the lies, the triangulation, just just the character assassination that's happening by the same person behind the scenes while they're sleeping with you, while they're telling you that they love you. And it's not just limited to relationships, guys. There are parents out there with this disorder that create and further spread this disorder. Everything, any type of cluster B personality disorder. This is where borderlines come from. These aren't just chemical imbalances that you're born from. These are people who know what they're doing. They know they're lying. They know they're coming after you. They know that they have targeted you for this cycle, and they've done it so many times. These con artists that they're complicit in it, and they get joy from the control that they feel over you. From every time that you betray yourself and you forgive them and bring them back and believe their lies, it gives them another boost of happiness. It's insidious. These types of evil people exist, and trust and believe, y'all, what you see happening in Hollywood, what you see happening with like these pedos, these sex offenders, the Epsteins, the politicians, all these liars, bankers, all these people out here, they're narcissistic. At best, narcissistic. And we've seen from those types, they seek out to destroy you. They have no care about other people. They use their weight and leverage, whether it's the media or their money, to destroy you. They don't care about the middle class. They don't care about you, plebs. They don't care. They're narcissistic. People get into relationships with these. I did. When people change, when you begin to change your behaviors because you're enacting reactive abuse, or you're reacting to crazy situations and all these lies and promises and future faking and all this shit that you're dealing with, it's not just the narcissist who isolates you. It's not just the other toxic people who co-sign to that narcissist, the flying monkeys. It's not just them. It's people that can't understand what you're going through because they've never been through it themselves. And thank God they've never been through it. Thank God. But they leave you too. When you need a positive support system the most, they will leave you because they see you acting crazy. They don't understand it. And they think like, well, he's on drugs, or he's gone nuts, or maybe he wasn't, or he or she wasn't the person that we always thought they were. And they leave your side. So then you're further isolated. And the narcissist knows this because they've run this routine so many times, and they love it. They love seeing you act wrecked. They love provoking you to the point where you get upset and you start acting out of character. They love that. They love it. It's part of the plan. It always has been. They've done this throughout their lives, and they've gotten better at it. They're fake. They create new faces depending upon who they're targeting, to learn who that person is, to learn their likes, to learn their habits, to adapt to it, to play into it. They learn how to make themselves look a certain way to other people. And of course, as always, when they provoke you to the point of you reacting and acting crazy, they're the first person to play the victim because they know how other people see you. And that's how they get off too, by fooling everyone else around you. So you're going to fall apart. Your support system just leaves. Everything healthy in your life breaks down, and you get further isolated, and you're being put through these cycles of devaluation, ghosting, love bomb, devaluation, ghosting, over and over and over again. And if you don't have strong boundaries and you get caught in this, you will get to the point where you get suicidal. I did. You will get to that point. Not everyone understands this. I didn't. You've never heard of what narcissistic personality disorder or who a narcissist is. You don't understand what that is. You don't know. You know what I mean? Like, who in their right mind would be that evil, that insidious, that manipulative, that destructive? Who in their right mind would be like that? Narcissists. But you don't know that when you're first going through it. You don't. Who could be that heartless? Who could be that fucking evil? They're out there. So the people that you've depended on to be your positive support system, or people that you've loved, or your friends, they leave your side. And they leave, and they start this, they smear campaigns too. Like they don't even understand it. because they don't understand it. And it is just the nature of the beast. They look at you acting crazy, going back to an abusive situation, protecting your abuser, then going back, then yelling about them, then going crazy and freaking out and acting wreck. And all the people that love you, your friends, whoever from the outside looking in who does not understand what NPD is, thinks you have gone insane, which you have, but they don't understand why. And so they're going to smear you without even realizing it. They're going to devalue you without you even realizing it. Questioning if you're of the right frame of mind, which you're not. You're not. I wasn't. I absolutely wasn't. I had to go to therapy. I had to talk to life coaches. I had to take the time to further isolate myself, which is the last thing anybody going through this wants to do, because you already feel alone and crazy because you're being made crazy by someone who, by design, is doing that to you while playing the victim and trying to convince you that you're actually the abuser while you're being abused. This is what it is. My brothers and sisters out there who've been through this, you understand that they don't understand. And you have to find the support system. First off, you have to discover what in the hell NPD is, because you never even understood what narcissistic abuse was. You don't understand what you're going through. You can't understand this concentrated harassment, devaluation, ghosting, love bombing, all the craziness that you go through. You're living in fight or flight. You're living in anxiety. And if you stay in it long enough, you want to die. So you've got to figure out what's going on. I don't understand what this person is doing. I don't understand what's going on in my life. And you have to find people who have been through narcissistic abuse in order to get through it, to become educated, to get a support system of people who understand, to help you fight the irresistible urge to try and get closure from a person who is abusing you with the design to never give you closure, to create problems for which there is no solution, to keep the game running until you die. And they get off on that. You have to forgive yourself for letting yourself down. And what's even more insane is that you have to forgive the people that left your side, the people who you thought were your friends, or they were your friends, but they didn't understand what was going on, the people who were smear campaigning you with not even realizing it, because they don't understand the disorder. They don't understand the abuse you're going through. You got to forgive them. I forgive everyone in the old indie sphere. Everyone in the old fandom menace indie sphere. I forgive all of you. I forgive you. Except for the toxic and the ones and the narcissistic ones who are hiding. I'm just not calling y'all out. But I see you. Because when you go through this type of recovery, you can see narcissists a mile away. And I see them. You have to forgive yourself. You have to fix yourself. You have to introspect. You have to go through what you have to go through. And recover who you are, if you can. Some of us don't. Some of us have been through it for like 20 years. Some of us get broken legs, sent to the hospital. Some of us get beaten down. Some of us have our lives threatened. It's not just narcissists who do this. It's also sociopaths and psychopaths who do this. And borderlines, too. If they don't go to therapy. They don't get healed. Look, I mean, any of y'all, I don't care if you like me. I don't care if you hate me. I don't care if you've never liked me. I don't give a shit how you feel about me. But for the love of fucking God, educate yourself on what narcissistic abuse is. Because one day, one of your loved ones, your family members, your kids might show up out of the blue acting crazy, don't understand what's going on with them. They're spiraling down into a pit. They're being self-destructive. And you might say to yourself, I don't understand what's going on with my kid. I don't understand what's going on with my cousin or my friend. They used to be one person, now they're acting like this. I don't understand this. And you may decide to back away from somebody who most desperately needs you to help them from killing themselves because of the abuse that you don't see. I got through it. I'm good. I don't care if you don't believe me. I don't care how you feel, I don't care how you are. I don't care what your disposition on me is. I don't give a fuck. Educate yourself on narcissistic abuse before someone that you love dies because you don't understand what they're going through. It's some serious shit. Brothers and sisters, it is so very important for those of us who have been through this to educate others, to stay the course, to keep your head on a swivel, to recognize narcissistic behaviors and tendencies in people and navigate through those evil demons. But most especially to keep educating others on what this is. Because you never know. You never know when a narcissist is going to start playing games with somebody's life, devaluing them from behind the scenes, abusing them, targeting them for the harassment, for smearing, and then the next thing you know, that person that you knew, that person that you loved, they're gone. Once you forgive yourself, you have to forgive people who have never been through it. Even the ones that were talking shit about you because they didn't understand what you were going through. Understand they don't know. Be thankful. Be happy that they don't understand, first off. But then make sure to let them know. Educate yourself. Because these psychos are out here. And they are heartless and they are evil and they will do anything to destroy someone's lives in every way that they can. Because they get off on it. My love to y'all. Be good to yourselves. Be good to each other. And never again suffer that fool.